Welcome everyone. Let's get right into it. Today, we're going to talk about something that's, well, it's super important but can also feel kind of scary. How to actually support a mate when you can see they're going through a tough time. Think of this as your practical, no-nonsense guide to having those conversations that really, truly matter.
You know that feeling, right? We've all been there. You see your mate and they're just not themselves. They're quiet, they're withdrawn, and you know something's up. You want to help, but your mind goes completely blank. You start worrying, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I make it weird? Trust me, that feeling is 100% normal, and it's exactly why we're doing this today.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about just getting the courage to start. Then, we'll get into the actual words you can use. We're going to cover how to listen, like really listen, how to handle the toughest question of all, what to do after the chat, and finally, how to make sure you're looking after yourself too. It's a simple roadmap, step by step.
All right, first up, taking the plunge. This is all about that first hurdle, that moment of hesitation before you say anything. It can feel massive, I know, but here's the thing, you've absolutely got this.
I love this because it's just so true. You're standing up there, looking down, and your stomach does a flip. Everything in you is screaming, nope, step back. But the secret, the real trick, is in that last part. You just have to jump anyway. You don't have to do a perfect dive. A clumsy belly flop is fine. The important part is that you were willing to jump in for them.
And if you remember only one thing from today, let it be this. You do not need to be a therapist. You don't need all the perfect words. You just need to be a decent human being. Your ordinary, everyday kindness, it's more than enough. In fact, it's everything.
Okay, so we're jumping in, but how do we do it without making a huge, awkward splash that scares everyone away? This next bit is all about keeping it simple. It's about opening the door to a conversation in a really low-pressure way.
This three-part opener is just brilliant. It's so easy. So first, you notice. You just say what you see. Hey, I've noticed you've been quieter lately. Simple fact, no judgment. Then you show care, because I care about you. This tells them why you're asking. It's not because you're nosy, it's because you're a mate. And finally, you invite. And I just wondered how you're doing. It's not a demand, it's a gentle invitation for them to talk if they want to.
So what happens if you do all that, and they just hit you with the brick wall, I'm fine? It's easy to feel a bit stuck then, right? But the best thing to do is not to push. Just say something like this. No worries, just know I'm around if you ever do want to chat. Boom, it's perfect. You've respected their answer, but you've also left the door wide open for later. No pressure at all. Now let's say they do start talking. This is where your most important job kicks in, and that job is to listen. I'm not talking about just being quiet while you think of what you're going to say next. I mean really, truly listening. It is a genuine superpower. Here are 3 simple tips to make you an amazing listener. 1, give them space. When they pause, it can feel awkward, but fight the urge to jump in and fill that silence. That's often when they're figuring out what to say next. 2, offer small encouragements. Little things like, go on, or even just a nod show you're right there with them. And 3, reflect back. Just quickly say back what you've heard. Something like, wow, so it sounds like you're feeling completely snowed under. It proves you're actually getting it.
Okay, let's talk about the part that honestly scares most of us. What happens if the conversation gets really, really dark? What if you start to worry they might be thinking about suicide? We have to be ready for that. We have to be ready to be direct and, most importantly, calm.
I'm going to say these words just how you should say them. Calmly, clearly, without any drama. Are you thinking about ending your life? Now, here's the crucial bit. You are not putting the idea in their head. I promise. That's a myth. What you are doing is showing them that you're brave enough to hear the answer. You're showing them you won't run away. And for someone who feels that alone, hearing that question can be a profound, massive relief.
And if they do say yes, your number 1 job is to stay calm. Your calmness is an anchor for them. Then you just follow these steps. 1, thank them. Say, thank you for telling me that. It takes incredible courage. 2, ask, do you feel safe right now? And 3, have you made a plan or taken any steps? Their answers to these 2 questions are going to tell you how urgent the situation is.
And this is the golden rule. If their answers make you think they're in immediate danger, then one thing matters more than anything else: their safety. It's more important than your fear of making things awkward. It's more important than anything. You act. You call 999 or you get them to A&E. It's the right thing to do,
It's the only thing to do.
Okay, so assuming the immediate danger has passed, or isn't there, the conversation doesn't just stop. Now we need to think about turning this talk into some small, helpful actions. So what's the next step?
This here is so useful. On the left, you've got the vague stuff we all say, like, let me know if you need anything. Now that sounds nice, but for someone who's struggling, that's way too much work. They don't have the energy. Look at the right side, concrete offers. Can I text you tomorrow? Fancy going for a walk? These are so much better because they're specific and easy to say yes or no to. They take the pressure off.
And look, please remember, it's okay to not have all the answers. In fact, being honest about that is really powerful. Saying something like, mate, I don't have the perfect words for this, but I'm here and I'm not going anywhere, is so much better than trying to fix them. You're not there to be a mechanic, you're there to be a mate.
We're almost done, but this last part is absolutely non-negotiable. Having these conversations is tough. It's heavy, it can drain you, and you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to look after yourself. This is so important to understand. You cannot be their only person. It's way too much pressure for one person to carry. Helping them connect with other people, their family, a doctor, other friends, that's not you bailing on them. Think of it like this. You're helping them build a stronger, sturdier safety net with more people holding it.
And after one of these chats, you need to give your own head a bit of a break. Your body's probably full of adrenaline. Do something simple. Go for a walk, make a brew, read a book, and if it's really sitting with you, talk it over with someone you trust. Get it out. You don't have to carry it alone either.
Look, what we're talking about today, it's bigger than just one conversation. As apprentices, you're a team, you're a community. You guys have the power to make this stuff normal. You can be the generation that makes checking in on each other just an ordinary part of the day.
And finally, please, seriously, get your phone out right now. Take a quick picture of this slide or just type these numbers in. For an emergency, it's 999. For urgent advice, NHS 111. If you just need someone to listen, Samaritans are there 24/7 on 116-123. And for tech support, text SHOUT to 85258. Having these ready means you're never starting from scratch.
So I'll leave you with this thought. Everything we've covered, all the steps and the phrases, it all comes back to this one simple action. So the real question isn't just about how you can do it. It's when are you going to start? Who are you going to ask? Thank you for listening. Look after yourselves, and please, look after each other.